Today is April 8th, 2024. My name is Rob Carter of Kalamazoo Right to Life. This is Pro-Life Week. Well, a few things today. First off, this morning on The View, the program I have never watched, but according to a Pro-Life website, Whoopi Goldberg got talking about abortion. And she makes the statement that basically abortion is fine because it is not included in the Ten Commandments. And thou shalt not kill does not apply to abortion. Well, first off, a lot of Bible scholars have done some unpacking of that thou shalt not kill commandment. And according to what I have read, a lot of scholars, Hebrew scholars, believe that a more accurate translation is not thou shalt not kill, but it's thou shalt not murder. So the big difference is that murder is deliberate and killing is more nuanced because you've got soldiers, you've got war, you got issues of self-defense, where you've got people have been killed in cases of necessity, perhaps, that have nothing to do with deliberate, intentional ending of someone else's life, which is what murder is, intentional killing. So once again, Whoopi and a lot of the ladies on The View have a skewed idea of what abortion is and what the Bible really says about human life. Okay. Pro-abortion people believe that they have a winning argument for the 2024 elections dealing with pro-abortion, pro-choice referendums that are constitutional changes for state constitutions. And several states, I've talked before about, we've talked about Michigan's Proposal 3, Ohio's Issue 1. I've talked a few times about this petition drive and referendum in Florida. But a lot of states are going to be dealing with the issue of abortion this November. And we're going to kind of go through some of these states. Technically, only one of them is actually officially on the ballot, and that is the state of Maryland. It is a pro-abortion referendum. Now, I've got to hedge myself here because not all of these referendums are pro-abortion. A few of them are pro-life. So they all kind of fall under the category of abortion-related referendums. But Maryland is officially on the ballot. Florida's will probably be on the ballot in a few weeks. But remember, in the case of Florida, to win, the pro-abortion forces need 60% of the vote, which is a very high mark to reach, a high threshold. So then there's the issue of two states have conflicting referendums. So Nebraska and Colorado. So Nebraska has two referendums. The first one would provide, quote, a fundamental right to abortion without interference from the state until viability. But they have another referendum, it's going to be before the voters, that will protect unborn children from abortion after the first trimester. So you've got conflicting referendums. And even the one about the first trimester, that doesn't really save a lot of lives, really, because most abortions are done in the first trimester. So it sounds good, but it really doesn't have a lot of teeth to protect children, unborn babies. The second one is the state of Colorado. Their amendment would define a human living child as a human from the moment of beginning at conception. The other one in Colorado would basically codify Roe v. Wade or abortion rights in the state constitution. Iowa and Pennsylvania proposals would declare their state constitutions do not provide a right to abortion or a right to public funding for abortion. These two still need more legislative votes to be placed on the ballot this fall. So Iowa and Pennsylvania, they have pro-life referendums. In Maine, a referendum to enshrine abortion rights still needs a 2/3 majority vote in the legislature to get it on the ballot. So, I mean, every state has their own rules and regulations and procedures on determining how and when a referendum gets placed on the ballot. So in Maine, you've got to have a 2/3 majority vote in the legislature to do it. 11 states have amendments that would codify abortion rights. And actually, we've mentioned a few states, but we have Arizona, Arkansas, Colorado, we've mentioned Florida, we've mentioned Maine. Have I mentioned Maine? I'm not sure if I mentioned Maine. Maryland, we've mentioned Missouri, Montana, Nebraska, Nevada, and South Dakota. So in some of these states, I can almost guarantee that these abortion rights referendums will not pass. I believe it will fail in Arkansas. It'll fail in Missouri. It'll fail in Montana and in South Dakota. The other states, I don't know. But in those 4 states, I pretty much can guarantee that abortion rights will not pass. The majority of the voters in these states generally are pro-life. Okay. So here again, this is all going to play out this November. Last week, 4 pro-lifers were convicted, found guilty of violating the FACE Act for engaging in a peaceful and prayerful protest outside of an abortion clinic in Nashville, Tennessee, back in 2021. The 4 could face up to 6 months in prison, 5 years of supervised release, and fines of up to $10,000 each. And the official sentencing is going to take place on July 30th. Now, I understand one of the 4 individuals is in her 80s. So, it's the whole thing is kind of crazy. These 4 are part of a group of 11 pro-lifers who have been targeted by the Biden Justice Department. And I've talked before, crimes have been committed against pro-life buildings, offices, pregnancy care centers, Catholic churches, and the Justice Department under the Biden administration has done virtually nothing to investigate and to arrest people who have committed these acts of vandalism or just defacing buildings. Appearing on a program called Washington Watch on last Wednesday, Representative Ralph Norman, a Republican of South Carolina, said this about these 4 people who have been convicted. Quote, "This is a weaponization of federal government. It's aimed at Christians. Ever since this administration took office 3.5 years ago, they've gone after Christians. They've gone after pro-life centers." He continued, "Ain't it amazing that you can have cities torn up, buildings burned, looting, people hurt? You don't hear about that. Yet, if you sing and are peacefully being at an abortion facility, and then charge them under the FACE Act, which is, it's ludicrous." And I agree. Okay, last item. On May 2nd this year, Campus Right to Life is going to be hosting our annual Focus on Life dinner. It's a fundraiser for Right to Life Michigan's education fund. And if you are interested in attending, these dinners are always top flight events. They're really special events. They really are. We try to make it really a nice evening for speaker as well as our our guests. So if you are interested in going, visit our website, KAZOORTL.org. I'll say it again, KAZOORTL.org. Go to that website. First thing that pops up will be a message about our dinner, and you can click that and reserve your seats. Talk to your people at your churches to get some interest in this dinner. Our guest speaker is an attorney from the Grand Rapids area named John Birch. He works with Alliance Defending Freedom, which is one of the best pro-life, pro-family, conservative legal outfits in the country. They are fantastic. And this John Birch, he actually was our Michigan's former Solicitor General back about 12, 13 years ago. He has argued 12 times before the U.S. Supreme Court. So he is well respected within the legal community nationwide as a top attorney. And he is our guest speaker. We're going to be talking about, or he's going to be talking about, parental rights. And that's a big issue, whether it's the issue of transgender and parents and what kind of rights parents have, to the whole issue of parental consent for abortion or parental notification. The whole issue of these rights for parents is now being challenged in court and in society. And John Birch is our guest speaker. Doors open at 5:30. The program begins at 6:30 Thursday night, May 2nd, 2024. Camels the Right to Lives, Focus on Life, dinner. Be there, please. I'm encouraging you to sign up and tell your friends and your neighbors to attend as well. With that, I will let you go. Oh, before I forget to mention, if you have any questions about the dinner, please call me. Please, I will give out my phone number. It's not a deep, dark, hidden secret. It's 269-599-4954. That is my personal cell phone. Please call me if you have questions about the dinner. With that, I'll let you go, and I'll see you next time.